I have two updates for you. Firstly, Tigray Defense Force is tightening its grip of Wag Himra and Volo zones of Amhara region. TDF has significant presence in both Wag Himra and Volo. In Wag Himra, main town Sikota is under TDF. In North Volo, almost all major towns are under TDF. Lalibela, Vuldia, Kobo, Gidan, and several other towns in North Volo are under TDF. Reportedly, Tigray Defense Force has reached an agreement with aid agencies for the provision of aid to the people of Volo and Wag Himra. We'll talk about that. Secondly, a few hours ago in a video, I informed you about a report published by Human Rights Watch, HRW, US-based body, which says that both Tigray militias and Eritrean forces are involved in war crimes against Eritrean refugees in Tigray. We have now official position of Tigray's government. Gata Choreda, TPLF spokesperson, has talked about this report of Human Rights Watch. We'll talk about that. Firstly, viewers, Volo, North Volo, Wag Himra, TDF has significant presence in these two zones of Amhara region. It seems that now TDF is calling the shots in these two regions. We heard from Gata Choreda 2 days ago that people were in dire need of aid in Volo and that Ethiopian government, Amhara government were neglecting the people of Volo. Then we saw protests as well in Volo against Ethiopian government. People say they have been abandoned by the government. Now reportedly, TDF has agreed to allow aid agencies to provide aid to the people of Volo. Today, several sources confirmed that Tigray Defense Force has reached an agreement with aid agencies. Aid agencies are being allowed to enter those areas in Volo and Wag Himra which are under TDF, and aid agencies will provide aid to the people of Volo and Wag Himra zones. This development firstly shows us that it's TDF which is calling the shots in these two regions. TDF is in full control of almost entire North Volo and Wag Himra. Secondly, anti-government sentiment is on the rise in Volo, in Wag Himra. I informed you about that in a previous video. Again, I'm saying that anti-government sentiment is on the rise. People of Volo believe that they are being abandoned by Ethiopian government and Amhara government. And lastly, viewers, now Tigray Defense Force is in a position to put pressure upon Ethiopian government and Amhara government for making them send aid to Tigray. We know that the speed of delivery of aid to Tigray is very slow. 100 trucks are required on daily basis. 100 trucks are not arriving in Tigray. Tens of thousands of people, millions of people in Tigray are in urgent need of aid. So now, if Tigray is under siege, Volo is also under siege, Wag Himra is also under siege. These places are under tight control of Tigray Defense Force. If Ethiopian federal government can block a supply of aid to Tigray, TDF can block the supply of aid to Wag Himra and North Volo zones. But reportedly today, TDF agreed, it has allowed aid agencies to enter Wag Himra and North Volo. The mechanism of the distribution of aid, it's still not clear. We are receiving details about how aid agencies will operate in Volo and Wag Himra. Will they supply aid through TDF? Will they work independently? That remains to be seen. It's a good development for the people of Wag Himra and North Wallo. Tens of thousands of residents in these two zones are in need of aid, viewers. At least now aid agencies can enter these places and start providing aid. Secondly, viewers, a few hours ago, I did a video. I informed you about a report published by HRW, Human Rights Watch, based in the US. The report says that both Tigray militias and Eritrean forces committed atrocities against Eritrean refugees in Tigray in November. And the two refugee camps, Hitsets and Shimelba, were destroyed. We were waiting for official response from Tigray's government. Geta Achore, the member of TPLF's Central Committee, has spoken about this development. He says that our forces, uniformed forces, Tigray Defense Force, our forces have gained access to these areas almost 2 months ago. These places were not under uniformed force of TDF since November. So whatever has been happening there, it has not been done by Tigray Defense Force. He says that local vigilantes might have done something in the heat of the moment, and TPLF is not ruling out the possibility of local vigilantes taking some actions there at Hitsets and Shimelba refugee camps. Now, it seems that we can only talk about the magnitude of the involvement of Tigray militias and Eritrean forces in atrocities against Eritrean refugees. Tigray militias are involved. They have done some revenge attacks. And almost all massacres which we have seen so far in Tigray, Afar and Amhara, they were basically revenge attacks. Maikadra, I read Amnesty's report about Maikadra. Then Amnesty's report about Axom. Both were revenge attacks. Galikoma and Chena in Amhara, these two were also revenge attacks. The pattern of attacks which we have seen is that most massacres in which civilians have been killed, they were revenge attacks. They should be condemned. And we should condemn Eritrean forces the most. This is the country from where these refugees fled, viewers. The country was supposed to protect them. Instead, its forces entered Tigray and they attacked this Shimelba Hitset refugee camp. It's shameful that who is going to raise voice for these people, Eritrean refugees?